Abraham, I'm very privileged to be able to speak with you.
We're all in this together, aren't we? Yeah.
I'm a student of the Michael teachings and have learned an enormous amount in the past 6 months, and my life has gone through an unbelievable transition of spirituality and growth. I've just begun a new, incredibly meaningful relationship, which is, I already know, going to have great spiritual as well as growth experience for me. She's not on a spiritual path herself, and my question to
Everyone is.
Well,
don't demand labels
she
from
doesn't
her.
feel it as I do, and she's, I guess, a little concerned about it. I want to know what it is that I can do to offer assurance and be able to support if she does find that path.
The most significant thing that we want to say to you is that everyone is on a spiritual path, because everyone is on the path from where they're currently standing to where their evolved being is. So no one can be off their path, but different people have different ways of approaching their path. And if you were all approaching it in exactly the same way, not only would it be really boring, but there wouldn't be as much in your vortex that created the path to begin with. And so we wouldn't spend any time saying she's not on a spiritual path, because that isn't true at all. And we wouldn't look at her as if there is something that needs to be resolved or fixed, because there isn't. We would adore the variety and watch for the amazing things that are born out of the melding of the two of you.
Is there then anything that I should do aside from being accepting and allowing her to be accepting? Anything, a suggestion or recommendation to allow the openness and just see how that will unfold? Or is it something that...
Give us an example of why that's not just happening easily for you. Is it terminology that's bothering her?
I think it's partly terminology, yes.
So talk less. Because the essence of who you both are is a really strong vibrational match. Otherwise, you wouldn't feel the way you do. What do you mean by accepting?
Accepting as in, let's say this. Let's say that I feel that I'm a spiritualist, and this is how my life has grown, especially in the past 6 months. Her life is a scientist or someone who sees the world from a more physical aspect and such. And so this is her growth and her learning and her pathway.
But listen to the whole of the cycle that we were presenting to you here. So all of you are sort of realists in that you are seeing what's around you. And from that exposure to that life experience, you're seeing what you don't want and knowing what you do want. In other words, this is just happening for all of you, no matter what label you give yourselves. So you're all focused in this world and asking for more. So when you ask for it, it moves into what you are wanting to call that spiritual realm, because your inner being, the non-physical essence of who you are, receives your ideas and stands with them and holds true to them, and the vibration of them gestates, and law of attraction brings more to them, and so they become bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And so you were physically focused into evolving spiritually, and now we're asking you to, all of you, to look for more reasons to feel good, so that you are able to resonate more with the true essence of who you are, because after all, you've progressed from the physical into the non-physical or more spiritual, and now as you get into the receiving mode, you bring the spiritual more back into the physical. So there's this cycle that you're always upon. And you were pure spirit. You came into this physical experience in order to explore more of a physical nature and more to identify the things of a physical nature that you wish to experience, and you threw them into the spiritual mix master, so to speak, where your inner being and source and God and all that is tending to it, and it's becoming bigger and bigger and more potential to be realized. And then through meditation, through feeling good, through happiness, through appreciation, you don't have to be spiritually minded, but you have to be happy minded. The most spiritual of among you are the most young among you and the beasts among you, and it's because of the absence of resistance, or the not so much resistance. And so your vibration raises and raises and raises and raises, and then you get an impulse or an idea that then turns into the physical equivalent. We're talking today, and every day that we get chance that you'll listen, we're talking about how you're turning the non-physical to things, how you're turning the thoughts to things. This is the process of life experience. And so it's our promise to you that while the label of spiritual for you is really an accurate label, it is, that you are still all of those things. You are still physically focused. You're still launching rockets. You still have resistance within you. You're still deliberately working on your vibration, and then are interpreting the vibration into the physical things. And your scientist friend is doing the same thing. Maybe different terminology, but it is the same thing. It is the same thing. So one of the things that's really interesting about all of you is that you so often would like those, especially who are up close to you, to agree with you or to be more like you. Esther would say to Jerry, let's talk about this for a while. I really want to know what you think. And Jerry would say, I don't think you want to know what I think. I think you want me to think what you think. And Esther would always say, oh no, it's nothing like that. But it was everything like that. In other words, because there's some satisfaction in getting that. But look at it this way. Oh, you're really going to like this. While you're sifting and sorting, as humans, you often think you want those up close to you, especially your lovers, to sift and sort and think just like you do. But what if you could sift and sort in your unique way? And what if you could put forward your rockets of desire in your unique way? And what if your rockets of desire that you are individually offering, what if your rockets of desire are now gestating? What if they are becoming? What if they are blending? What if they are merging? And what if each of you are coming into alignment with who you are, so that then you are finding your agreement in that way? You see what we're getting at?
Yes.
But as humans, did you hear this? This was so important. As humans, you're so often looking for agreement from the get-go. How can we be more alike right here and now? And we say, why not let your diversity and your differences make something really magical and new and different? And why not then each of you individually strive, isn't the best word, but focus on and become in the receiving mode, and then each of you in your unique way interpret in your unique way. So there is scientific interpretation, there is spiritual interpretation, there is female interpretation, there is male interpretation, there is the harmonics of the differences. You see, humans keep thinking that harmony is about sameness. It isn't. It's about so much diversity that makes for so much more, and then unique individual interpretation of it into so much more. Oh, the dance you do with those who are different from you in so many ways is a much better dance than the dance you do with those who only know and think and speak exactly as you do.
Your answer is beautiful and perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.